Hello, this is Ellen from the Charlton Ellen Academy, and I'm so happy to have you here. I know there's not been that many videos in the last few years. I'm fully aware of that. Becoming a mother, for anyone who's a mother, know just how unpredictable that is. But it's a new year, and I feel honestly so excited. I feel happy. I feel excited. I feel like finally I'm landing in myself. And I feel as though that is showing in the more recent art that I'm doing. So I'm not going to do this the longest intro ever. More than if you're not already subscribed, be sure to join and do so because this year I tend to bring you more into my studio. I'm in the rooftop studio in my home right now. In front of me here is the latest design. I call this Terrace Life in Provence. It's all about dreams. That is what this year is going to be about. I'm so fascinated with designing spaces, setting up places in a way that builds a visual storytelling. I recently just filmed a new class called How to Capture the Essence of a Place. And well, what is the essence? Well, it can be beyond physical representation. It can be about what emotions a certain place evoke. And just if we look at this particular design and we reduce it to its just composition, where is the focal point? What I started with when I designed this, it was really, I want to create a place where you sit and read a book, or you go over and do a little bit of plants, a little bit of gardening. And this is kind of what I came up with. I'm not going to chat about too much about the design that is already here. More so, I actually wanted to bring you along, just adding a little bit of detail. So one thing that is so magical about embroidery is how you can tinker with it for an unlimited number of times. When you have a piece, you can hang it up, look at it, go away, look again, and see if there's something that you feel is missing. And so, considering that I really want the book to be the main key, the main focal point, the essence of this place, a slow read morning. I should have maybe done a cup of coffee as well. I'm going to fill it out. So, I took this, what could we call it? A cream color, because I want this to evoke the feeling that this is kind of like a vintage book. I've been thrifting so many books lately. I adore thrifting. It's like the best thing ever. Not only thrifting furnitures for your home, but also thrifting old books. I literally just last night finished a book I thrifted about a British woman who, in the beginning of the 1900s, who moved to the south of France with her husband and was talking about life there. It was kind of like a memoir, and it was just magical. Yeah, it was magical. And so it made me think again today that, you know what, I really need to embroider this book, and I want it a bit vintagey. So what I just did here, I splitted my floss from 6 strands into 3. Threaded the needle. I love using the 1-5. They are quite thin, but a little bit longer. I find longer thin needles to be easier to manage without poking myself. I'm just going with the flow, really. I haven't planned too much what I'm going to do right now, more than I just want to emphasize, so fill out this book. I'm thinking that the fibers, the direction of the stitches, so really, what is it that guide my decisions? Now, this is kind of intuitively ingrained in me at this point, thankfully, after almost soon a decade of being an embroidery artist. I make my stitch direction based on kind of the flow of the space. So how do you open a book? It opens outwards, right? And that is kind of the movement that I want to capture. And that fact that you are reading from inside and out. So this is the movement I want to capture, as opposed to I could have just done flat satin stitches like that, right? But honestly, that wouldn't have enhanced this rounded movement of this open book. You know, an open book is never just lying completely flat. It's always going to be a few pages that create this little cute rounded shape. And whenever we design places and spaces, it's about the tiny details that make such a profound impact on how we interpret the space, how we interpret the design, and how much depth we are able to evoke. So again, you see, it added something magical there. I'm going to do the same on the other side. And what technique am I using? I'm just imagining that is what you would ask at this point. Again, technique is something that, it's another thing that has become a second nature. More so, using the basic stitches and simplifying them. If I am to label what I'm doing right now, I would call it split stitch. I'm essentially just making one stitch outwards, starting from the middle, doing one stitch outwards, splitting through that previous stitch. The more you get in tune with movement, observation, how the fibers of a place, so when you're looking at an object, what direction does it feel like that it's naturally kind of going? So again, this is a lot grounded in drawing, my experience of drawing a lot. Like, how would you draw this? Because sometimes I feel as though there is this misconnect between the craft space and the drawing space otherwise, where it's as if ideas about how you would draw something kind of evaporates as soon as you bring out craft supplies. And I just don't know why. Voila. Let's secure it on the back side. I think this was really lovely. I'm going to now see if, look at that. This is where we look at. Did I manage to get a little bit of black floss here as well? I want to try and see how it would look like. So another magical thing about hand embroidery is how you can make mistakes and cut them up and just redo it again. And this, to me at least, so some art teachers, they preach that you should embrace everything. I'm more so, well, if something really bothers you, then you are not going to enjoy continuing or displaying it or whatever, and then it's just better to redo it. And embroidery really invites for that. So I took now a single-stranded black floss to I kind of want to imitate text from a distance, from far, to add even more life to this. I'm not sure if the black text maybe makes it a little bit too harsh. Potentially I should have added like a gray or something. At the same time, not sure it would have been visible in the same way, because remember, this is still relatively small. I think this does the job. Again, it's those tiny details that may seem trivial, but that make the entire difference. Maybe like that. Look how this came to life. Do you see the difference? Please say yes. Do you see the difference? These are the things that excites me so much. How such seemingly subtle and easy fixes can add so much depth and so much life to an image. And it doesn't matter whether you are there, let's go, whether it's with embroidery or if it's in drawing or anything. I always think about what is the effect that I want to capture, and how can I get there in the most, like in the simplest way. All right. There we go. Terrace life in Provence, south of France, just got a bit of 3D. I keep touching it because, again, it's another of those things with embroidery that you can really feel your work grow in your hands. And I personally find that to be such a big part of the process. So thank you so much for watching this just little cute addition, this detail on the book to just add even more depth and life to the actual what I really imagine to be the focal point in this terrace scene and this story. If you're interested in finding more unique designs, I'll put the link in the description below to our pattern shop. We've also got loads of online courses in the Charlton Allen Academy, and of course here on YouTube. I am dedicated, I'm committed to upload more and invite you. It will probably be this type of more real-time, just a little chat, just a little glimpse into the process of my current work in progress, making it, human, making it a real, authentic experience. I feel as though through the past few years, it's just everything about technology and AI and everything. And I just feel like, you know what? We need the real and raw. And, well, that just so happens to be what I'm good at. And that makes me honestly really excited. So watch this space, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. All right, bye.